It's not doing that for me. My countdown's normal again.
I guess it's just on my end then this time.
A lot of things are on your end, like my ass to your face. If you and me were in the Human Centipede, but we're not.
Well, you better hope I didn't take protein powder and creatine right before
I'm so sorry, Kairu, but I am starving. Which would you rather I eat? Should I eat the cuttlefish and asparagus, or the vanilla paste? Very well, I will eat the cuttlefish.
It's like
Rat a cuttlefish.
Taco Bell or White Castle.
Or the cuttlefish.
What would be worse for like a human centipede? Like at the start of it, like
Cuttlefish.
a crave case of White Castle, or 20 Taco Bell tacos. Like both would be an experience. Oh, hi everybody.
Welcome to the Double D experience. Sometimes in my mouth, sometimes in my asshole, and sometimes in a Taco Bell. I don't know.
But always shitting in your mouth.
I never seen that movie, and I never will, but I've looked up images from it, and I'm just like, why the fuck did someone make this? This is repulsive.
Then let me throw a hypothetical then.
Have you seen it?
No. But if someone's paid you money to either watch Sharknado or Human Centipede, and both the first movies are the best in their trilogies, so like which one?
They usually are.
Yeah, which and they're both pretty bad though, so it doesn't matter. But
dude, probably
which would you pick, David?
Which would I pick? I'd probably watch Sharknado because at least that shit sounds funny. Human Centipede isn't funny. This is just like, oh my god, this is legitimately like this is disgusting as it is. You know that movie had to pass through the censors 23 times before they released it.
I did not know
23 times they were like, this is still too grotesque. This is still too grotesque. This is still too grotesque. And I'm like, holy.
So the
fuck.
23rd edition, like the 23rd cut of the movie, was the one that finally got past the censors.
I could be wrong on that number, but it was some ridiculously high number.
I could imagine that though. Like the first draft was probably just like obscene, and the guys like the censors were just like looking at each other like the first 10 minutes in. They didn't even watch the full movie. Like the first 10 minutes in, they're like, no, you got to recut this. It's like the guy's like, what? Like the guy is like almost hurt that his expression of art is like getting censored. It's like,
this is my art. If you don't understand it, bro, if you don't understand how shitting in somebody's mouth, having your mouth sewn to somebody else's butthole, and eating whatever comes out in gruesome, explicit Taco Bell level detail is not representative of the downfall of capitalism, then maybe you just need to go back to film school, you fucking dick critics. This is why you guys sit here and you judge movies rather than make them. And it's like, no, dude, this movie just fucking sucks. It's disgusting. Recut it, or you're not releasing this shit.
I think this is
fine.
It's like, oh, like the censors are just kind of like, dude, this is getting to like snuff film level.
It was.
I mean, yeah, it is, but the guys are just kind of like, look, you want like, but here's the deal. This guy wanted to put it in theaters. He wanted it to be put in theaters, so it's like.
We're talking about the Human Centipede, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we established that, in case that wasn't obvious. The Human Centipede, if you've never heard of it, don't look it up. It's a disgusting, like, snuff-level film horror movies where, like, these... Yeah, there have been 2 sequels, too. Where, like, these tourists are on... they're on tour in Germany, and there's another Japanese tourist, and this German scientist, like, kidnaps them.
Oh, it was Germany?
Oh. Yeah, I think it's a German film, if I'm not mistaken. Might be Austrian, I don't remember.
I could have sworn
I don't remember.
I was American made.
No, it's not American, but it's got American actresses and stuff like that. Literally, the guy kidnaps them and sews their mouths to their butthole, like to try to have the 3 human beings share one digestive tract, which is as disgusting as it sounds. Basically, there's the Japanese dude, he's in the front, who refuses to eat because he's like, if they're gonna eat my poop, I'm not gonna eat, fuck you. And then he has to eat or he will die. So he eats, and then he shits in the girl's mouth, and then that girl shits in the other girl's mouth, and it's a whole train of shit.
Doesn't he say like? Is he like? I'm sorry. As he's like,
I imagine that's how that shit went. I'm never gonna watch that fucking movie. You can't pay me to watch that shit. I'm not a horror movie guy to begin with, but that's just like gross out horror. And that's like the extra shit that like I really don't need in my life. It's not even good horror where it's like, or good bad horror where it's all just like, oh, shitty jump scares or whatever, or bad ambiance. Good horror where it's good scary ambiance, doesn't even use jump scares to really get that like fear in you to make you feel like you're either being watched or that someone's out to get you. That's good. That's impressive. I'm not a fan of it, but I respect it, and like I can respect it even in like non-horror media. This gross out shit where it's just like, I'm gonna make the most repulsive shit imaginable and like call it cinema or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. Good on you for the fucking special effects that you yourself probably didn't even fucking make and you paid someone else to do. But this is just, fuck.
I'll even say something too. It's like
2 sequels.
Yes, 2 sequels, guys. This movie got 2 sequels. I mean,
where he makes a bigger centipede.
I mean,
or it's a different scientist because that scientist dies at the end. Oh, spoilers for
can you
Human
imagine
Centipede, whatever.
This guy's like Avengers Endgame. Like, the idea is like, I'm gonna get the entire world, the entire population to be a Human Centipede. This is gonna loop
This
around
movie's
the
about
whole world.
unity, bro. If you don't fucking get that, maybe you just don't understand cinema, alright?
The Human Centipede cinematic universe.
You fucking beat me to it. I was gonna say the same thing.
It's like the guy's got his mouth to the guy's asshole, so he's just like,
call us immature all you want. Someone made this fucking movie, and that's exactly what happens. All right.
And I mean, speaking of,
I'm a so sorry, Kairu, but I am a stuff.
I even gotta say too, like, it's kind of crazy how, like, you know, gore is something for, like, at least to us, like, we find it completely acceptable. We could like see limbs being chopped off, heads being decapitated, like, you know, in action movies and stuff, we see it all the time, like guys getting shot, getting their heads blown up, getting their limbs like blown off and everything.
I already know where you're going with this.
But and like, what I'm about to say is like, and not that I'm saying that it's, I guess, any worse or whatever, but like, it is really funny how like we find like gore like that acceptable, but like when we see like even puking in movies, and even now in this case like shitting in another person's mouth on the screen, like we just repulsed by that. And it's kind of nuts because, like, I mean, in real life, if you saw someone literally get their head blown up, like, it just explodes in front of you, you'd be like...
Image is not getting out of your head for like 5 years.
Exactly. But you see it in movies, it's just like... You're like, oh, great, special effects, Michael Bay, you're so great. It's like literally, like, stuff like that. Like, I just find it so odd, though. Like, because
me too, dude. We're
gore,
so desensitized to violence.
But like gore,
a single titty. A single titty, you see that on a theater screen. It's like, oh, unacceptable, FCC.
Yeah, and then like after you're done with the movie, you go home and you're just like, just jerking. It's like, oh, Pamela Anderson, you're so fucking hot. Even if you're 53 years old. I don't know how old she is.
I loved it when you got kidnapped in Borat.
I still think even Jessica Alba is like.
I see what you mean now. By the way, she's in a new movie. She's doing a
is it a rom-com?
Drama, a rom-com or a romance drama with Owen Wilson, I believe. And even in just yeah, you can laugh about that all you want. Don't make fun of Owen Wilson.
No. It's not, I'm not making fun of Owen Wilson. It's just like they're from the same era. They're from the same era too.
Every time I watch him in a movie, I'm just like, wow.
Oh yeah, dude. Shanghai Noon was the greatest. Was the greatest crossover movie I've ever seen.
No, but you're right. They are from that same era.
Yeah,
but I agree. I remember like not years ago, fucking months ago or whatever, when like you said that in a episode of the Double D Experience, you were talking about her ass, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember. I guess I don't look at her and then too often, I suppose. But in that trailer, I was like, dude, goddamn, she is still fucking caked up.
Oh, you want to know something too? And I guess Bit of a spoilers, I guess, for the new Doctor Strange movie, because apparently there was leaks that had come out about the movie, and it's about the cast credits. Jessica Alba's returning as, I believe it was, she was from Fantastic Four.
No way.
Yeah,
What?
They're bringing, as far as the multiverses go, they're even bringing in the X-Men. Like, so basically,
but
Hugh
Chris
Jackman.
Evans was the flaming torch.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just kind of like, how are y'all gonna do that? like, considering we already know. I mean, but I guess since it's already a multiverse, they could just swing it. It don't matter. Like, it really won't matter in my opinion.
They'll just get somebody else to play him.
Yeah, someone
I
like, I don't know,
or
Chris Evans'
maybe
brother.
literally it'll be like Chris Evans. This is just what he looks like in this like Marvel universe.
Yeah, like Strange is kind of like, wait a minute.
Yo, are they gonna do that?
Wait a second. It's like he like looks at Human Torch and he's like, "You have a shield? You like own a shield or something?" And the guy's like, "No."
No.
It's like,
What
and he's
are you
like,
talking
"Because
about,
you
man?"
look awfully familiar." He's like, "Never mind." It's like you look.
Wow.
You look exactly like. Whatever.
Yo, they should actually do that because then they have an excuse because of the multiverse. They actually have an excuse because of the fucking multiverse. They could just be like, this is what fucking the Flaming Torch looks like in this universe. He looks like Captain America in this one.
Wait. Let me just add something. Because there was another name on this fucking credits list that I was like, yeah, this is probably fake. It was Vin Diesel playing Dom Toretto from Fast and Furious. Which, that's exactly why I was like, yeah, this is probably fake. But then I thought about it, like, this is one of those movies where literally Marvel can go nuts with it. They could bring in everybody and anybody if they want to. And I know for a fact Disney's got that money where they could just be like, it's like just gives the like just slides the check to Vin Diesel. And it's like, here, we're gonna give you this much to make like a 5-second cameo in this movie. All you're gonna be doing is driving your it's gonna be driving your car alongside Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and X-Men.
The multiverse got nothing on family. I thought you were about to say Groot. I'm like, okay, Groot's gonna make a cameo.
No.
That makes sense.
No. It literally said Dom Toretto. That's why I'm thinking it's probably fake. But can you imagine though if like come the summer and we like, let's say if you did want to watch the movie and we watch it and we actually see fucking Dom Toretto, like Vin Diesel, like actually
This is what Scorsese fucking warned us about.
I mean, this
is what he was afraid of.
This is also being made by the same guy who made the original 3 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, for
so
real?
Sam
Wow.
Sam Raimi's gonna be, I believe, he's gonna be director of this movie.
Wow.
So, and everyone kind of knows like Sam Raimi's unique directing style. Talking about Spider-Man 3. So, like, you know, we kind of get the taste of it.
The greatest movie ever made.
Bully Maguire's my favorite MCU character.
Listen to this.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. I love
But
how,
yeah, man, whatever. Is there gonna be a single titty in Multiverse of Madness, and then all of a sudden America can't watch it? But then Doctor Strange gets one of his million clones, his copies, fucking heads chopped off. And it's like, oh, this is great. It's insane how America is just the opposite of Europe in that regard, where like we fucking glorify violence in movies, but a single fucking titty. You see a titty in there, it's like,
oh,
gone.
I can't. Like all the parents are just like, this movie needs to be canceled.
I think it's ass backwards. If anything, I think like sex is natural. It becomes a normal part of our lives. It teaches young kids to be more afraid of that than fucking violence. If anything, it should literally be the other fucking way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is the other way around in Europe, but I mean,
And
I don't
then-
think Europe gives too much of a shit about violence either. But,
Asia's also the same way because like there's
oh, they're worse. Isn't their censorship like way worse?
I mean, yes and no in the like it's the same kind of, I guess, with America in the sense that like kind of gory violence like that is really not too censored, but when it comes to titties and vagina, like, you know, obviously everyone's watched a Japanese porn once in their life. Everyone knows like the censored bars like are all here. So
The law for that is that like they censor it to pretend that they're not getting fucked, because like porn like that or getting fucked on camera in Japan, believe it or not, is, if I could be wrong about this, is still technically illegal. So they censor it, not to like censor it like to protect minors or whatever,
Yeah.
but to literally pretend that's not what they're doing.
That's not porn.
Yeah, Hitomi Tanaka said that in an interview.
I can believe
she was interviewed by Asa Akira of all people, and
Were they speak in both Japanese or no?
no, they were speaking Japanese and English. They were actually both going in and out, and because I don't think Hitomi's English was as good as it is now back then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about that, like like different sexual intones in Japan. Like they will literally say verbally. Literally what they're doing, like, oh, you are putting your penis in my vagina repeatedly, like that. Like they'll say it like that because that's how like they turn themselves on more. Whereas Americans, when they're getting fucked, they'll be like, oh, fuck me. They'll have like a slang term for it. You know what I mean? In Japan, they literally say what it is, which is interesting.
I'm learning.
And which makes it all the more funny that they're pretending that that's not what they're doing.
Even
in the
though
video,
they're literally
when
screaming.
the dialogue is literally that's what they're fucking saying.
It's even better though.
You are repeatedly putting your penis inside me. Over it. It's insane, and that's what they were saying that. But Hitomi also talked about the laws.
It also even makes like uncensored Japanese porn like even just that much more of like a golden egg. Like you just like it's so hard to find. I fucked up that metaphor, but like everyone knows what I mean. It's like really. It's like a unicorn, essentially. Yeah, like you just kind of maybe you probably could just do a quick Google search and you probably find any JAV star like and their uncensored stuff. But like, it just like it's so funny though because it really is the same in the sense that like at least around in Japan, kids like watch anime and a lot of anime subject matters are pretty violent. At least like a lot of the action based ones, like these are all the stuff that like.
There's smut anime too, there's like that kind of there's Human Centipede like type stuff for fucking anime too as well. That's a thing.
But and like violence like that over there is like completely okay. But it's the same over here where it's like, yo, you see one titty and it's like the end of the world.
I know.
Like
it's just
I don't get it. Like I don't.
Sex
understand.
is something most of us will encounter. In our lives.
And the more you
suppress
suppress it,
it's a part of our being as well. Chopping someone's head off is not part of our being.
It depends on what line of work you're in.
Unless you're fucking Genghis Khan. Like you're a direct descendant, and it's in my blood.
I don't even think beheading was even a big thing for him. Like
rape was.
But there was one. There was one.
That was a big thing for him.
There was one punishment that like I honestly thought, damn, that's like the most metal thing ever. It's like you kind of get rolled up in a fucking in like a rug. And you have multiple horses just running over you, back and forth and like, and I was thinking like that is probably the most unique because everyone knows the whole like grab your
unicorn
limbs. Like you tie your limbs to like the 4 oxes and then they pull you apart. Everyone knows that one, but like when I saw like the rug and the horse punishment, I was just kind of like, damn, that's like. I mean, they're horse people, so it's like, okay, we got to incorporate the horse in our punishment system somehow. Yeah. So it's like, we can't just have them kick the fucker. Like,
meanwhile, the fucking horse is like, do I get to say this?
Yeah, it's like Bojack. Can you imagine if Bojack's fucking ancestor was probably like a Mongolian horse or something?
Why did they never do that? That would have been funny as fuck.
Like, it's like one of the most like famous horse people in history. Like, people who fucking love horses. And it's like, you never tied that in somehow. It's like Bojack's ancestor probably was there at the siege of Baghdad when they fucking sacked the city and like burned it down to the ground. That was a famous siege, by the way.
Yeah. And Genghis Khan got with and I say got with very loosely.
Yeah,
he pillaged. He was a rapist. He
He's
got with so many women. And I don't know if this is true anymore considering like the human population, but there was literally a 0.5% chance that whoever is listening to this podcast right now, is related to him.
And it's not even just him though either. It's also his descendants also did the same thing. They also rape, pillage, and plunder as well. Like his sons basically carry his DNA, so it's like that's gonna get spreaded around like everywhere. And their sons and their sons and their sons.
Pillage and raping is all right with me. Like that was them.
Yeah. And even but like we do it on land because we're scared of ocean. Like we're horse people. Like it's the reason why they didn't do too well in Japan.
I'll never forget. I asked my friend if it was possible to fuck a mermaid, and she gave this detailed like lore answer to me. That's something that they could like take off their fins or some shit. And I'm like, this is not the response that I was expecting from you.
Yeah, it's not like fucking Little Mermaid where like she comes on land and then her fins like disappear or some shit. Like it's not like that.
Yeah, well, then I think the movie there is that like she wished to be a human because she falls in love with like the prince that's on there, and she's like, oh my god, he's so fucking hot, but I have a no vagina.
Can you imagine too, like being a mermaid in a modern day, and like you come up to the surface, it's like, yo, they got shit like smartphones, like they have like food that ain't sushi, that's like not wet. Like I could have a hot dog and like. It's like there's so many things down that list. It's like, oh my god, they have Times Square. This is great. Like,
Sebastian's song was very biased towards the underneath of the sea.
Yeah.
He sings about how great it is. I'll be like, y'all, but like, do y'all even get like HBO Max?
Y'all even got health insurance?
Yeah, you don't even get HBO
we're
Max
America.
on
We don't got health insurance, but it's like, you know,
like he's King Poseidon. He's the king of the whole fucking ocean. You're telling me that y'all are working down here for him and y'all don't even get dental?
You know, I'll be even real though.
Dental?
Like, King. I think it was King Triton.
Or Trident.
Yeah. Whatever. It's the same shit.
I haven't seen the Little Mermaid.
Fork holding fishman. Yeah, like that guy. Like he, like, you know, they say he's the king of all oceans, right? I bet you guarantee like his main spot that he stays at is the Atlantic, and that he never goes to the others. Everyone just thinks like Triton's our guy. He's our ruler. And it's like, has he ever been to Pacific Ocean? It's like, nah, bro, that's too far. He's not gonna swim that far.
You at least want to go down to like the south, you know,
Yeah,
Atlantic
it's like the
Ocean.
Southern
Oh
Atlantic.
fuck, no, they got
it's-
pirates down there. Are you kidding?
It's also cold as shit down there, bro. It's like, you ever been to Antarctica? Fuck no. It's like King Triton would definitely be like Southerners from the U.S., where it's like he never left his bubble ever. He just stays into the Atlantic Ocean.
Well,
forever,
that's
and he
literally the
never
plot
goes.
of the movie, is that he doesn't like let Ariel do anything. He's like, you go back in your hole and you stay here and collect random shit for the rest of your life.
Doesn't he like destroy all of her collection or something? Like
I don't remember. I
Yeah,
have not
it
seen the
was
movie in a very long time.
Everyone kind of
Daddy, I want human dick.
I want Prince Deck, because that was an actual prince. So she's like, you know, I want royal Deck that's not incestuous like among my family.
I kind of wish that the prince in that movie wasn't a prince and he was just a normal guy instead. Like that would have been a lot more relatable.
That ain't Disney's formula ever, apparently. Normal
Well,
guys
now
just don't
they're
cut
trying
it.
to be more. They're trying to be as basic as they can. Like they're appealing to the TikTok base, the trendy base. You know, yeah. You think Disney would give a shit about gay people if they didn't have a huge market there? I don't want to sound too pessimistic there. And a lot of like, you know, systemic change in this country comes from corporations when like they realize, you know, they're going to make more money if they become more progressive. Believe it or not, that is, I'm not trying to sound pessimistic there, but they are big insiders of change when their wallets start to get kind of tiny. You know, that's kind of huge. That's part of the plot of Miracle on 34th Street. You know, if you've ever seen that movie, is that it's like unheard of in that movie to like send a customer to another store if your store doesn't have the product that they need, but then they realize it's a really good goodwill campaign and that people will come back to us because they'll remember us as the store that put the customers' needs over profit. Be like, oh, we don't have this, but Gimbals does. You know, like if you head over to Gimbals, like they can get that for you. It's like, you're sending me to your competitor. It's like, well, yeah, because we don't have the product that you need, and that's what you're looking for, right? And then they look at them like fucking freaks. It's just like, oh, from now on, I'll be a regular Macy customer. You know, since like, you know, you showed me a kindness here, and then they make
No,
that,
like you give a shit, and you're like human-like.
And it was technically only the company's policy as to why they did that, but it was a good thing that they did. You know, sometimes change or like, you know, weird things in life that happen to you, like on your road to success, as I talked about a couple episodes ago, come from just the weirdest of places. And I guess that's just an example of that. Because even in Disney's older films like that, I mean, nowadays it's not always going to be a prince. I feel like there's one of the more traditional films that they've released in the last couple of years were the Frozen films, was Tangled.
Oh,
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
True. Yeah.
And I haven't seen Encanto, but is that movie about like royalty? It's not, right?
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
There's not even a love story attached to it. I mean, yes, there is, but like the main character is not doesn't have a love interest.
Right.
So
right.
it was definitely one of the few movies that tried to break the mold as far as that. And I mean, more of Disney's modern stuff, yeah, like they have done it. Yeah, you're right. But like, it's kind of okay. I never mind. Because I was gonna like basically contradict myself, but
yeah,
it's still so funny though seeing like we go from a lot of the classic princesses. Like, I guess Beast was just kind of like I don't think he really was a prince. He was just an asshole who was rich.
No, he was. I think he was also a prince or some shit, and he was just
Did
like,
they say?
I'm royalty.
Like-
I'm royalty. I'm better than you are, and everybody.
And then the witch cursed his ass. Was like, yeah, well, you're gonna be as ugly as you are in real life as well, you little fucker. And then she left, and he just like, no, I'm ugly. And like nobody loves me. And then there's this one goofy bitch from the village is like, I love you, I accept you. If I was Beast, I would like. I mean, we all saw that how like kind of apprehensive he was, like letting this random girl from a village like come into his house.
Yeah.
And like I would have just also been like, yo, what the fuck kind of game you playing here, bitch? Like, you trying to get me canceled right now? Like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like,
the social media on the books that no one in her fucking village reads because they're all stupid.
Modern day, I would love like just seeing a Beauty and the Beast maybe taken in the modern day, but like the guy is like real defensive about any woman coming into his life because it's like, I've been fucked over once by this one bitch who called me ugly and then she turned me ugly. And it's like, he's just like so like just like against like, not that he's gay, but he's just like, you know, I ain't trying to like pursue a relationship or nothing like that because I got fucked over the last time. It would be the most realistic portrayal I would have ever seen in my life.
It is, yeah, like that was relatable, you know?
Especially like because he literally lost like everything. Like, he like nobody came to his crib. All he had was him and his servants, and it was so funny too because like, yo, his servants loved him that much. I mean, they couldn't go nowhere. One was a fucking candlestick. We wouldn't have lasted 10 seconds out the door. He would have died immediately. and
Cogsworth,
yeah, who was like, I guess his
buddy,
yeah, like his pal.
At least his wife became like cursed with him. I mean, real shit. Do you think that Lumiere and his wife, while they were fucking a candle and like a shelf, do you think that even while like at like the however many decades that they were stuck as, you know, a fucking candle and a shelf, that they you ever think they tried fucking like once?
I feel as if it was like the first day after they got cursed. He was just like,
right?
Yeah, he just like went to a room. It's like hey, 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 you wanna try it? Like, let's go. Okay. But wait, that one maid who was
it's not the same. It is not the same, mademoiselle.
What about that
no
one
longer
maid?
Have the penis to put inside you.
What about that one maid at the end who was like a
that was
little
a
feather
Cogsworth
duster?
wife. That was Cogsworth's wife too. But the joke is that he hated his wife, and so he was happy that like they got turned into. Well, not that they got turned into, you know, fucking
furniture,
things, but
yeah.
But when they were both human again, he was just like, oh shit.
It's like, I have to go back to this bitch.
I think that's what it was. I need to look up this character's name because I forget. Beauty and the Beast. Because I forget, like, his fucking wife's character is, like, who got turned into a shelf. And, of course, the remake comes. I'm not gonna lie, you know, like, it was one of the first Disney remakes, so I didn't pay too much attention to, like, you know, how basic they could be. But honestly, I liked it when I saw the live-action one.
Did they keep a lot of the songs, like, from the...
Of course,
version?
yeah, no,
Okay.
Of course. It's not the same. What the fucking songs are you...
I think the remakes are done, though, low-key. I think after...
No, they announced one recently. I don't remember
Which one?
what it was, but they announced... Ah, fuck, I don't fucking
Is it
remember.
Little Mermaid? That was announced a while ago.
Wasn't Little Mermaid, but it was a really, really stupid choice to do for a live-action one. I don't remember what it was. What was the character's name? It wasn't Miss Potts. It wasn't, Stove. Monsieur de...
Was she the dresser?
Feather
like-
Duster? Was her name Bimbette? I don't even fucking remember what the character's name
Bimbette?
was.
Literally a couple letters from Bimbo.
Just straight up, yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
she had, like, the up to no good eyes. Like, in that last scene when everyone turned back to normal. She, like, looks over her shoulder to Lumiere and, like, gives him, like, the...
Plumette. Her name was
Was her name Plumette?
Plumette, that was the one. I think fucking what was the one?
We're going into, like,
was like, I guess, a different character.
Going into the deep end of Beauty and the Beast lore right now.
I mean, I think Beauty and the Beast is one of the greatest stories that Disney has ever told. If I'm being frank.
Yeah, you're
definitely
ugly
up there.
and you hate women, or you hate everybody actually. But like, you know, there's always someone out there for you, even if you hate everybody.
It says like someone will be an incel or a loser forever unless they give them a chance, maybe. And I think like the whole beast thing is supposed to be analogous of that, like an extreme version of that. You know what I mean? Like the darkness, whatever. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived on a shining castle. Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. So one winter's night, he took an old scuba snorkel to an old beggar woman, came to the castle, and offered him a single rose in return for shelter from the bitter cold. Repulsed by her haggard appearance, the prince sneered at the gift and turned the old woman away. But she warned him not to be deceived by appearances, for beauty is found within. And when he dismissed her again, the old woman's ugliness melted away to reveal a beautiful enchantress. Then the prince got really horny and tried to apologize. But it was too late, for she had seen that there was no love in his heart. And as punishment, she transformed him into a hideous beast and placed a powerful spell on the castle. And all who lived... Sean Connery, who fucking they hired him to do the narration.
I would have loved to hear him do some more narration. I don't know if he has in his past works, but I would have loved to hear it. But
REFM, I5, etc., etc.
I guess today, guys, we're gonna just be speaking movies, like low key. Like we kind of don't really have too many like crazy topics to talk about. It's kind of been of a dead news week, low key.
My favorite announcement in the recent Nintendo Direct has got to be Mario Strikers.
Liverpool.
We could talk about that for a bit. I mean, I guess we could talk about how wrong our predictions were. I mean, we didn't predict too much wrong things. I predicted a new Fire Emblem. That was the first thing that was in the Direct. Literally the first fucking thing.
Technically, you weren't wrong on that. Because it is a new game, but not a new characters and stuff.
Yeah, because then you and I talked about it actually Three Houses didn't come out that long ago. There's not going to be a new game, but I genuinely felt there was a Fire Emblem drought. So now what it is that it's like a warrior style.
Yeah, Dynasty
like
Warriors.
Warriors or Dynasty Warriors.
And Fire Emblem Warriors too, which came out first. So,
So that makes sense. That makes complete sense that they made that game.
I always felt as if like the progression always was that. Like, especially when... I mean, Hyrule Warriors wasn't really coming off the back of anything else, but like, I feel as if like once they saw that it did well, it's like, oh, well, what other franchises can we do a Warrior? Can you imagine a Super Mario Warriors? Fucking Mario running around with the fucking hammer and just smashing mobs up and shit.
Sick.
It would be. I mean, I don't know. I'm just tossing ideas out here. I mean, maybe Miyamoto does watch this shitty podcast and he's like, oh, that's a very good idea. But probably not. He probably says like, you know what, fuck your idea, because I made fun of his accent. But
I was gonna say, yeah.
But
I will now make a Star Fox a Dynasty Warrior, and that's the new one.
Fucking Star Fox just comes out with a sword, and just ruins like this entire army of like monkey people. Like Andross's people.
It can't be monkey people. That's fucking racist.
I mean, Andross is a monkey.
Yo, maybe that's why they don't make any more Star Fox games.
We'll get him canceled.
Yeah.
Just give him a human face then.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make him an asshole. I mean, everyone else is an animal, so might as well at least just give him a...
Yo, the final boss of that game, the dialogue that they added in Star Fox Zero is like Andross talking like all this shit to Fox, and it gets like low-key like racist for the Star Fox universe. Because he says shit like this. He goes like, a fox taking orders from a dog. How disgraceful. That's an actual line of dialogue from that game. Yeah, no, it really adds to the immersion. Like, it was cool. But at the same time, I'm just like, if this was set in, like, the real world, and he was talking about humans, what would he have meant by that? What was he gonna say? Was he gonna be like, a white man taking orders from... Nintendo, don't go there. Don't go there.
So, Fire Emblem Warriors, Strikers, which I will say, I was not expecting.
If y'all don't want to listen to a man cum in his pants right now, you best be turning off this podcast, because that's what happened when I saw that fucking announcement.
And also, skip ahead to this timestamp if you don't want to hear David cum for like 7 minutes. Yeah, just like right here. right there. Right on top of my face. But
my jaw dropped when I saw that announcement. Literally dropped, Dennis. I was so excited.
I was excited for you, and I was low key. What do you call it? Like, I know I said it before, but I really wasn't. Like, of all things, like I was sooner expecting another fucking Mario Golf again from the back of the last one, more than a Strikers sequel. And then on top of Strikers, one thing that I didn't realize that I didn't realize, but like one thing that I didn't know that they would bring back was fucking Wii Sports. And I mean, I don't know what the reception was to that news, but I personally thought, as long as it's not $60, I'll get it.
It's gonna be $60.
Why would it be $60?
Because it's Nintendo and every one of their games is $60. I will bet money on it being $60, Dennis.
What if... Okay. But can you see them going lower to like maybe 50? Because I don't think it's like...
Not for a year.
Not for
at
year?
least a year.
Fuck. I don't want to drop $60
It's
for
Nintendo,
Wii.
they do not drop the prices of their games for shit.
Because it's just like saying it... Like just about what I'm about to say. Buying Wii Sports for $60 almost makes you kind of want to go like the... And it's not that I'm saying that, oh, like we deserve it to have it free like we did with the first Wii Sports, because I mean this game obviously has more content in it and a lot more sports, obviously, but
They also yassified the Mii's, which I hate.
did they really?
Yeah, they did. Like the Mii's, you can play as traditional looking Mii's too, but they don't look the same. Those new fucking weird alien like Xbox 360 avatar looking creatures.
Yeah.
That's what the Mii's look like, and I guess Mii's aren't as big of a thing on the fucking Switch, even though you can still make Mii's on the Switch and play as them in your games and stuff like that. But it's not like the Wii era where the Mii's were like synonymous as like the impartial new mascots of Nintendo.
Yeah.
But what do you think Matt from fucking Wii Sports is gonna think of these like fucking abominations? You know what I mean? We're talking about Matt, the greatest athlete who ever lived.
Yo, why
Going
wasn't
up against these fucking freaks
why wasn't he in Super Smash Brothers?
as just him, like by
Yeah,
himself.
just him. Yeah, with no limbs or anything. It's just his floating little ball hands like thing. It's just him like beating the shit out of like even Sephiroth and Captain Falcon.
Still would have been too broken. Even with like, even as a fucking quadriplegic, he still would have been too busted.
He wave dashes like nobody. Like you just won't believe it. And
That's something the new Zoomers are not even gonna fucking understand.
there was
Or like the next generation, I should say.
and there was a lot of disappointing news, I guess, in the sense that lack of news, I guess, because Breath of the Wild got basically nothing this year. We didn't hear shit, and I'm like praying that maybe it's. I really do think, yeah, like COVID probably really held back the dev time for that game, because it's gonna be a big game.
Yeah, it's true. There was nothing about Breath of the Wild 2. That's right.
There was nothing, and obviously nothing for Pokemon, because they just coming off of their biggest release since a while, which was Arceus, and Splatoon 3 got a sequel. Splatoon 3, yeah, and. What else? Is there anything else on there? Anything else that we're excited about?
That was in there.
Earthbound got a English release at last for all you people.
What do you mean? Like the first one?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the first one.
Well, it's funny. Earthbound which is technically Mother 2. That's the second Mother game technically, but the only one that was released in America. Because Mother 1 was never released in America. Neither was Mother 3.
Yeah, Mother 1, yeah.
And, Earthbound was actually on the SNES Mini when they released that. Which
did they really?
Not everybody was able to get because it was the SNES Mini. I'm lucky that I have one. I was actually I was at SmashCon a couple years ago, and there was someone at the booth selling one, and I'm just like, if I don't buy this, I'm not going to get one. So here we go. I got it there. So now it's on the Switch, which is dope. Mother 1, though, which is rebranded for the Americas as Earthbound Beginnings, was released, believe it or not, on the Wii U, Dennis. For the Virtual Console on the Wii U, Earthbound Beginnings. Mother 1 was on the Wii U.
The most forgettable console in the history of this entire fucking world.
Yep. And I thought I was going to have to dig up my Wii U to play that shit. Now I'm not. So thank you. Itoy, you are the greatest. Even though you probably didn't do anything to get it there, you just tweeted about it. But sure.
Didn't a lot of the Mother games also get like unofficial translations? Like I remember there was
Mother 3 has an unofficial translation.
Yeah, there was like a fan who basically made his own translation for the game and everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first Let's Plays or biggest Let's Plays that Chugga Conroy ever did. Way back in the day.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was Mother 3, which they've been begging to get localized. Some people thought, like, at the end of that, they were going to be like, Earthbound Beginnings, and they thought at the end of that, they were going to be like, Mother 3? Like, are you going to do it? And nope, they still didn't fucking do it. Damn, amazing how they never localized that fucking game.
Is Mother 3, like, up there with, like, Half-Life 3 in the sense that, like, it's just never going to come to the States? Like, it's just, like, never going to, like, be here?
Yep.
It's never going to, like...
They've been begging Nintendo to do that for years, to the point where they even acknowledged it in an E3 presentation once. Like, there was like a whole like Adult Swim Robot Chicken style animation with Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was like doing this speech at like E3 or whatever, and then somebody in the audience in that sketch, a sketch that the people at Nintendo wrote, literally called out, "We want Mother 3!" And in response, Reggie used his fucking laser eye vision to kill him. This is an official Nintendo sketch.
God damn.
They're aware of it, and I think they are going to do it one day. But, like, because they are aware of that. But, fuck, they've been begging for that shit forever. That game came out in 2006.
Nintendo takes their time. Like, and I really mean it. They take their sweet ass time when it comes to... I think
they actually have their
like,
shit mapped out until, like, the fucking 2050s, if I'm being honest. I think their timeline actually goes that big.
And, like, it just goes to show you, like, it... they almost don't have like too much interest, because I almost feel as if they're always focused on like creating new rather than going back and then bringing that into the new. Like new as in like obviously they just want well, I mean, for the Switch, like we don't really have too many crazy like collections of remakes other than like the Super Mario one that came out like a while back. And I'm just talking about like the Super Mario 64 Sunshine and then Galaxy, like bundle,
you talking about
whatever.
Virtual Console, or are you talking about like actual like remasters?
Well, no, not
because there's no like big like game collections like that, but there is the they do have NES games, SNES games, N64 games now, Genesis games on there as well with the expansion pack on the Switch. So that is all on the Switch now.
Okay, all right.
You know.
I was talking. I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about in that respect, because like I don't go on the
Took them
eShop
4 fucking years, but they did it.
It's gonna take them even longer, I feel, just to even expand that library. I mean, they're going at a pretty snail's pace at it, aren't they? Like,
which they might not. There were only 21 N60, I think 21 or 19 N64 games on the Wii, actually, that they released, if I'm not mistaken. And they were mostly just like really like the biggest hits. Like a lot of the first party stuff was what they put on there. They put Mario Party 2, but they didn't put 1 or 3. Which got my goat, but whatever.
But two did, like, I think out of the 3, if that was a trilogy, 2 was definitely, in my opinion, like the better one of the 3.
A lot of people share that opinion. I think I think 2 is a little overrated, but it's still an amazing game. But whatever.
Didn't the All Stars also, like? I mean, I guess
Mario Party Superstars. Yeah.
I guess maybe they just thought like, well, I mean, we're not gonna remaster any of these old Mario Party games, so might as well just throw all the best mini games into one game and then just call it a day. And people are gonna buy it regardless, so fuck it. Like, we'll just do that.
I bought it. I still haven't played it because it came out at a time where I was super busy, but I'll get to that at some point. I'm gonna have a Discord for it. But whatever. They guess they have that shit planned out for a while. We didn't predict a new Star Fox or F-Zero. We were just talking about how that's what we wanted. So
and how hype it would be if they did, because I gotta admit, like, reading that YouTube chat was the funniest thing in the world. Like, people were just like L, like, because like nothing about Metroid, nothing about Zelda or anything. Everyone was just like, people were screaming, like, just through the chat. Like, multiple people were like, "Where's Zelda?" Like, because it was getting to like the end of the direct, and there's nothing, and then everyone. It's so funny, like the way chat is sometimes. It's just kind of like, this is the worst direct ever, and then just ends. And it's like, even after the video ends, people were still chatting. It was just like, damn, like they care that much, like
ravenous motherfuckers, and they know it.
I mean, to be fair, they were kind of starved from last year's. There wasn't really too many crazy things other than Dread and a few others, in my opinion. I don't know.
Releases, or you mean directs? Because the
directs.
Oh, the direct before that one was amazing. You know, the direct before that announced fucking Bayo 3. It announced that.
Pyra Mythra.
No, that was the direct before that one.
Oh, was Sephiroth in this one?
Sephiroth was not announced in a Nintendo Direct. He was announced at the Game Awards.
Ah,
and there was literally a live orchestra playing One Winged Angel like, over the trailer while it dropped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. To an audience of no one, since this was in October of 2020, so there was no one there.
I feel bad for the orchestra then, because it's like half the time, like any orchestra plays is because they want to do it in front of an audience, but like you're just doing it in an empty fucking room.
At least there was a shit ton of people watching.
I guess, but it's not the same. You like to see crowd reactions.
I know.
Can you imagine?
It was a dark time, my dude.
Yeah, like imagine like the Cyberpunk announcement everyone remembers. Keanu Reeves just goes in front of a no audience, fucking like like stage, and he's just like, check this out in an empty ass room.
You're awesome. Like crickets.
Yeah, literally.
He's just talking to no one. I predicted there was going to be a trailer for the Mario movie. I was dead wrong. That never happened. I really thought it was gonna. I guess a little too early for that. Movie's coming out in 10 months, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, they've announced stuff like that comes out.
Oh, December.
Later. Yeah, December.
Oh.
Yep. I predicted that. I was wrong. I think I said there would maybe be something new about Bayo 3, but I don't remember if I said anything like that.
It was announced the last Direct?
The last Direct, they ended it with like Bayo 3, which was in development hell forever. They announced that game in 2017. 4 years later, we finally got a trailer for it.
God damn.
Yeah. 4 years later, finally a trailer for Bayo 3. As far as what else we predicted, I don't even remember what else we did.
Not much. I think we were just so hung up on F-Zero and fucking Star Fox for some reason. Like,
we were towards the end.
Because, like, Star Fox is, like, you know, definitely a cherished series that me and David, we grew up with and everything. And, like, it's just had such a bad string of games after 64. Like, makes us sad. But, speaking of shitty dinosaurs...
That was a good segue. That was a really good segue. Not everyone's gonna get that, but that was a really good segue.
There was a movie that got announced a couple weeks back, and as everyone knows the Jurassic Park series, and everyone now knows the Jurassic World, I guess, trilogy now. Dominion, which is the name of the latest installment, has been announced. I don't know if it's for this year. I think it is, and it's supposed to take place. I think a year or two after the previous film, and I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it was when, lo and behold, rich-ass white guys wanted to bring dinosaurs to America to put in a Disney fucking land type deal, like, and have people come and see it, just like how in the first movie. But, you know, this is in the States now. And there was this, I don't know, man. Like, the more I watch Jurassic Park, like, I actually believe in religion. I'm just like, yo, if we ever, let's say, did, like, get to that point where, like, we could literally recreate, like, old creatures from the past, and some fucker, like, presents it to, like, the whole world, I'd be like, yo, can we, like, get the CIA to kill this fucker? Or, like, I will hire a fucking hitman to kill this man. Because after seeing something like Jurassic Park, and because obviously, like, if anyone's ever watched the first movie, and even the latest ones, like, Jurassic World, it's a cautionary tale of how, like, basically humans shouldn't play God in that respect and bring back creatures that were dead 65 million years ago to the present day. And basically this new movie takes place in a world where essentially the entire world is filled with dinosaurs. The American Midwest, you're going to see fucking Triceratops shit along with water buffalo all over the damn place. You might even find a Velociraptor in your fucking backyard and it'll eat your kid or something. And T-Rex is on the damn I-95. Can you fucking imagine how mad New Jerseyans would be if the 95 was blocked off because a fucking T-Rex is just going nuts? Like, we already hate our lives being on the 95 and also 80 when there's traffic. Can you imagine being held up because some fucker had to bring this shitty-ass creature back from the damn dead? We would kill that guy. We would literally find that fucker and kill him.
Bro. But I mean, the one cool thing I will say, though, is that Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum are going to be in this movie. That's fucking sick.
There was during the trailer, there was this one last shot of Chris Pratt, Bryce Howard, and the OG3 all together. And I was just like, they were saving this from, like, because everyone thought, like, oh shit, like, because we got Ian Malcolm back for the last movie, and everyone thought, oh, like, are we going to be seeing Alan Grant? Are we going to be seeing Dr. Sadler and everything? But all we got was basically Ian Malcolm, which I think he's one of my more favorite characters out of the OG3, just because of how he denounced from the very beginning this whole thing, like bringing dinosaurs back from the dead, and humans also playing God with genetic technology that eventually ended up being out of their control. Because, what's up?
To spoil, I guess, to add on to your point, I mean, I guess to spoil Jurassic World, if you haven't seen the first Jurassic World movie,
spoiler
the way that
alert,
it ends,
I guess.
yeah, the actual spoiler alert for Jurassic World, the way that movie ends is that, Claire, who plays, like, the redhead sexy scientist, they,
I just thought she was, like business lady. I don't think she was a scientist.
Oh, she wasn't? I haven't seen the movie in years.
She was just
I saw it
business
once,
lady.
so just business lady, I guess. No, I'm pretty sure she was also one of the scientists. If I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive that she was.
She knew the animals, but it was just kind of like, that's like specimen 2493, like as if it was like, some real dehumanizing shit. Like she just said like, it's specimen 2949. He's a meat eater.
Something like that. I don't know. But I think she's, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going by memory.
Go.
Pretty sure she was one of the scientists, okay?
Okay. In your head canon, she's the scientist.
Such an asshole. What happens is that they have a T-Rex that's like in a fucking crate there that they keep in the crate. Like they don't even like have it on display or anything. So when they're dealing, the plot of that movie is that like it's about one man-made dinosaur, like a literal new dinosaur, a man-made one that's like bigger than a T-Rex, goes haywire. It develops telepathy and starts talking to the other dinosaurs to turn against the humans. Excuse me. And so what they do is at the end of the movie, they unleash the T-Rex to kill it. That's what they do. And I think the symbolism of that movie is that, like, like, that the man-made fucking dinosaur, like, wasn't enough to counter gods. I believe. Or
nature in general.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to be one of the underlying themes of that, is that, like, like, it was supposed to be, like, man going, like, a literal manifestation of, like, man-made something going up against, like, God's creations. So, boom. And so I understand what you're saying about, like, like, oh, I believe in religion now because of this movie, because you're like, yeah, the dinosaurs got killed off for a fucking reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, they absolutely did, dude. We would not survive with those fucking things still here. No. Are you kidding? I mean, there was a time period where humans and dinosaurs coexisted, right? Didn't the caveman live with them for a bit?
No, Flintstones was not a documentary, my guy. I'm sorry.
But that's
no.
I thought Hanna-Barbera, they came into my school and they gave an assembly.
Wait, David, are you actually being serious? You're not taking the piss right now?
No, I mean, no.
You could retract your statement.
Nah, of course I didn't. Nah, of course I'm retracting my statement.
Okay, all right.
Of course I knew that the dinosaurs never lived with the humans at any given point. Of course I fucking knew that.
All right. David's a fucking idiot.
No, there were literal fucking, like, nature documentaries and shit about how they lived with, like, the saber-toothed tigers and shit.
Oh, but those are saber-toothed tigers. They didn't fucking ride on Tyrannosauruses.
Well, they were like dinosaurs. Okay, what did you think? I meant like it was in the Flintstones where like they used them to like ride their fucking cars.
No,
but
saber-tooth tigers and fucking woolly mammoths. There's not the same class as a fucking like literal ass-killing lizard.
I am simple man. I see big teeth on front of big animal.
And you think
dinosaur? That's what I thought. Isn't that what like the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody movie was about? He had huge teeth. In the front, he had like an overbite.
Oh, that's news to me.
Wasn't that shit about dinosaurs?
I didn't know that, but
I've told you that before about Freddie Mercury. That's why Freddie Mercury grew his fucking mustache. He had an overbite that he was super self-conscious about. Yeah,
I know that.
But he was also a dinosaur. But yes, he had big teeth in the front of his face, as all creatures with big teeth in the front of their mouths do.
Yes, humans did interact with creatures such as saber-toothed tigers. Which honestly, if you really look at it, I'd be like, oh, look at that walrus cat. Like, modern day people, like, looking at a saber-toothed tiger, if it was actually alive, you'd be like, that's some goofy looking cat. And, like
the crocodile hunter's fucking descendants. What if like they in their blood they already know that they're like great grandson is gonna have a great television show, and he's gonna like get up and close with these fucking things. You think he just like talked to his like caveman friends or something, or he walked by and he was like, look over there. All right, there's a saber-toothed tiger. Like the fucking Gabriel Iglesias sketch. It's one of the most dangerous creatures in all the planet. One bite of his fucking giant saber-toothed tooth and I'm gone.
I'll be real.
I'm gonna poke him with a stick.
It's because of this movie that I wish Steve Irwin was still alive. Because he would definitely make a cameo in this fucking
God rest
movie.
his soul.
He would totally make a cameo in this movie.
He would have actually, that's a good point. They absolutely would have hit him up and be like, yo, can you be in this? He would have been the guy who'd been like, holy dooly, y'all are so fucking stupid.
It's also like,
why the fuck would you bring back dinosaurs? Like, that would definitely have been him. It's like, oh, we thought you would have liked this, you know, like to get with nature. It's like, they died for a fucking reason, mate.
Look. Dealing with a crocodile is one thing. It like points up to the fucking T-Rex like that's like right above him. It's like dealing with that is something completely out of my repertoire. I've never dealt with anything so fucking big. Biggest thing was a fucking elephant.
But you're Steve Irwin. We thought you would. Wouldn't it be cool? Aren't you gonna climb on it or something like that?
No amount of money you give me, mate, is gonna have me get on that fucking thing's back. I don't even care if it is sedated. Hell no. And throughout the whole trailer, right? There's actually whole like scenes in the trailer where we see
you
like
can
dinosaurs.
Kiss my Australian cock if you think I'm gonna climb on that fucking. If you think I'm gonna climb on that thing.
There was whole scenes in that trailer too that it just shows like dinosaurs basically fucking up the everyday life of like people. There's like planes get fucked up by pterodons, like because you know they just look pterodons like look at anything and they're just kind of like, oh, that looks like food. Let's go down and like peck at it and eat it. And you just see this whole plane just being ripped apart by this pterodactyl. And then in the sea, there's a thing called a mosasaur, which is basically a big fuck you alligator dinosaur that I think we mentioned a long time ago.
Can I just say, I love how you describe animals. Basically, this thing is a big, giant, fuck you, man-eater alligator fish.
I mean, it is.
Fuck you is what makes it.
And like there's a scene where like he literally is fucking with a crab or a fishing boat, and I'm just like, dude, like, can you imagine the hazard pay? You'd have to pay some people just to even go into the fucking sky or down on like into the ocean, knowing that these things exist.
Oh man, have you ever played the Jurassic Park arcade game? You remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That game was scary. That game scared me.
Yeah, it was actually.
It really did. If you guys don't remember, it was like this first-person, you know, those motion sensor like arcade shooting games where like you holded up the gun controller up to the screen to shoot at the dinosaurs, and it had these crazy camera angles and like it was like a set like cinematic like at this point.
On the
like,
rails,
the
kind of.
On the rails. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of. Thank you, Denise. This is why I keep you around. And
you tell me words
shot
I
at
don't know.
it, and the thing would just run at you with like it's like full sprint towards the camera with its fucking mouth gaping, and I was like, nope.
It was my favorite game at Chuck E. Cheese way back when. It's still probably one of my favorite arcade games of all time.
As if you're gonna take that thing down with a fucking pistol.
Yeah, a little pea shooter.
And there's another one where like the same dinosaur keeps coming back and back, and there's one where you're fighting it. It's on a boat. You're on a boat. And it's in the water, swimming around the boat, and I'm just like, nope. Fuck you so much, nope. Absolutely not, bro. Never beat that game. Those arcade games were hard to beat because you had to keep putting in quarters. Quarters. Yeah, you're just gonna give them your cryptocurrency card and just gonna shove it into a fucking Chuck E. Cheese. The day that I can pay at the arcades in fucking Bitcoin is the day that I want you to turn one of those like Jurassic Park controller guns into a real one and take me out right then and there. That's it, bro.
Going back to this movie and the whole premise, right? Like, I find it so shocking because this is coming off the tail end of the second movie where basically
tail end, get it? Sorry.
Like, and Ian Malcolm's basically saying like, oh, I guess, well, if we can't just destroy all these creatures, then I guess we're just gonna have to live with it. Dude, can you imagine the public outcry? People will burn down the fucking White House knowing that they basically said that, oh yeah, it's okay that these man-eating lizards are out there on the loose in the United States. Like, I think the premise of the movie, like, dinosaurs in our world, but it's not in a park. Like, they're in, like, the Midwest and everything. Like, they're in the United States, like, living among us.
That's the theme of, like, Dominion, is that they, like, escape and they're, like, all throughout the world now.
Yeah. And, like, because the last shot in the last movie...
Fuck, do you let that happen?
Yeah. Like, there was a shot where a T-Rex and a lion are basically, like, kind of, like, are like this.
Oh,
and
shit.
the lion, like, bows because he's scared of the fucking T-Rex.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing, if you just turn off your brain, it really is one of those things where it's like, if you turn off your brain, it's like, yo, that's so fucking cool.
That's metal as fuck.
I know.
Actually.
But that's why, like, you know, but once you turn it back on and you realize these fuckers are literally on the loose in your neighborhood, like, dude, I'd be afraid of to go out at night. Like, even driving. Like, I could be on the highway and these, like, fucking, like, a fucking T-Rex will just smush my car.
Thank you for tuning in to ABC News at 12. Do you know where your children are? I had a nightmare once that there were dinosaurs walking around outside my grandma's house, and it was just a giant boom, boom, like, and it shook my house. Never got to the part where they, like, broke in and ate us or whatever, but it was just, I knew they were there, and, like, as a little kid, I was just like, oh, that's terrifying. You know what that reminds me of? I don't know if it was Dead Rising, or if it was some zombie movie or something like that. But there was one element in, like, this zombie thing. I think it was Dead Rising, one of the earlier Dead Rising games, where the hippies, there were hippies, right? Protesting hippies.
Yeah.
Who were protesting killing the zombies. Because they were like, peace. They were like, peace, man. They had, like, signs in their hands that said, like, straight up, liberate the undead. It's like they're living creatures, too, technically. And stuff. It was so fucking stupid. Like, so one of them was, like, trying to hug it, like, you know, like a peace-loving creature, and it bites him, right? It bites him, and he's just like, oh no, it's okay. Don't force him off. It's fine. These are our friends. And then he turns into a zombie.
This is the reason why like that one scene from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like, where Leo's, like, just looking out the window and he sees, like, the fucking hippies, and he's like, goddamn fucking hippies. Like, literally, like, I resonate with that so hard. And, like, wouldn't the whole world at least even consider dinosaurs in our world, like, as an ecological and biological disaster? Honestly, these are foreign species coming into our fucking world. And I even remember, though, like, this is the reason why, like, this movie's gonna have so many problems. Like, I'm probably gonna watch the first time and critique the shit out of it, and then I'll watch it the second time and just turn my brain off because, like, ho ho unga bunga dinosaur in Los Angeles. There was actually in the
famous Los Angeles dinosaur.
There's a second movie called Lost World that takes place right after the first movie, and it's basically them going to another island, and this is where, like, they bred the animals in captivity.
Isn't that the one with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, and then Jeff Goldblum was, like, the main guy for that movie. And
Why was Vince Vaughn in that movie?
I don't know. Why not? I think George Costanza was also in there too.
Oh, they had fucking Jason Alexander in that movie?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And they there was a scene, though, at the last 20 minutes of the movie where they bring a fucking T-Rex into Florida. And it just goes nuts in Florida. Like, it literally just goes insane. It was the greatest 20 minutes I've ever seen. I just loved seeing that fucking T-Rex is going nuts. It, like, broke into a Blockbuster. It slammed against a bus. It went into a kid's neighborhood and, like, went to his backyard and ate their dog right in front of... I know, but it's like... Just, like, the level of fucking just turning off your brain, wanting destruction, like, was just honestly great. That I hope to God that maybe they'll also, like, up it in this next movie. Because literally, I don't think anyone should be going into this movie thinking that it's going to be some deep shit, because there is something inherently retarded about letting dinosaurs live on your Earth 65 million years after they've already died. There's just really something inherently stupid about that, in my opinion. And
yeah, it's a theme of every movie.
Like, I don't even care how much of a Greenpeace hippie dickhead you are, and you think that these things should live. Like, if, let's say, we were living in that world, like, these things will eat your kids.
Yeah.
It's like, you think gang violence is one thing. Wait till you see a velociraptor jump a guy on the street and just eat him in front of everybody.
It would be a completely different like type of thing that we aren't even used to in having like a creature like that is more powerful than us physically and will eat us and that we now have to live in fear from, which is why I also believe in what you're saying. They were definitely killed for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? It's like it creates a whole different separate issue like for society that would like completely impact and change our way of life. If this were ever to happen in real life, you know what I would do? If I was the scientist who was like trying to like prove to people that like dinosaurs walk the earth and stuff like that, we have these skeletons, we see what they actually look like, I would genetically engineer one little tiny one. I would put it in its little case, be like, see, everybody, dinosaurs were real. We have the videos, we have the proof, we have all like these scientific heads in the community to see it. It's real. Good, see it, awesome, click it, take your pictures, take your videos for the gram, awesome. Kill it. Right there. Done.
And then
completely
destroy the technology.
Exactly.
Like just erase everything.
Like,
and
everybody see the dinosaur? See it? You see it? All right, good. And done. Just like that. That's all you need to do.
and human like
you don't need a fucking theme park.
Genetic studies as well. Like, I mean, I'm no scientist, but there's a lot of good stuff that does come out of it. I do believe in that. But like, this is just like playing God. I mean, we're getting into like stuff that everyone already knows from the first movie, like playing God.
Every Jurassic fucking Park movie, it's the same message in every film. It's like,
don't play God.
We shouldn't have done this, but we did. Oh, they did it again in Jurassic World. I guess humans never learn. Like, that's every fucking Jurassic Park movie.
And no one talks about 3 because 3 was god awful.
Yeah. Isn't that the one where they just dump them all on one island and then they crash land on that island?
Yeah, because this family, this divorced ass couple, want to find their son who is missing on that island. So they hire the guy who they think is a dinosaur expert and drag his ass. No, they kidnap him. They knock him the fuck out. And they bring him to the island against his will and everything. Like, because their initial agreement was that, look, you can just hover around the island and I will point out some dinosaurs for you. I will be your guide. But he basically also punctuates it with, right before they cut to like when they're going to go to the island, I will never set foot on that island. And then he lands.
I remember that exact bit of dialogue, actually. Now that you bring it up,
I remember that
we did this for a fucking reason.
Yeah,
like we put them here away from society for a fucking reason. They will kill all of us.
That movie as well, the third one specifically, had so much like great potential because like Alan Grant's still going through fucking PTSD of being chased around by fucking velociraptors even years afterwards. Like, remember he had that whole crazy fugue state dream where he wakes up and he sees his friend a velociraptor and he's talking to him. He's like,
I don't remember that actually.
It was such a trippy scene, and it was like he wakes up and like there's nobody on the plane, and then he looks to his side because he keeps hearing a guy going, Alan. And he looks to his left, and it's just a velociraptor, literally, and he speaks his name. He's like, Alan.
That's actually kind of scary.
No, that's why. Like, there was so many good parts of that movie, but like the plot itself, like, I mean, every Jurassic Park movie has like a bunch of idiots who do dumb shit and they get themselves killed. Like, for the first movie, we had that fat fuck Dennis Nedry, who like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in this hurricane-ass storm. When the entire park's security system is basically all turned off, so all the fences are off, all the dinosaurs are out and about, and I'm gonna just go real quick, give these embryos to this rival company, and I'll just head right back, and then I'll just re-enable the security system. This guy put the entire island and everyone's life in jeopardy because he wanted to make a quick buck. And there's also reasons why he did it and everything. But like, this guy literally turned off the one thing that was preventing everything on that island from killing the people who were on it.
It's the same plot of every movie, dude, and they change it slightly. If anything, I think it's one of like Spielberg's greatest shames that he has done that in the way that have like it be franchised. His biggest sellouts, I should say, is Jurassic Park. Is what I should go for. Yeah, like it's his most George Lucas-y kind of thing because it's the same one in Jurassic World. Like the first Jurassic World is that like half the reason like the shit in that park keeps happening is because like the Velociraptors or whatever animals that were Chris Pratt's were kidnapped by one of the owners of the park or whatever, who was trying to like create a new attraction or whatever, who was trying to monetize them in some way. And then guess what? Oh, his greed got him eaten by them in the end. The irony. It's the same movie.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
I
don't think that's a surprise to anyone.
Yeah. The first movie was, I think, the message was really, I think, very... this is deep. Like, it was pretty deep for, like, at least the first film. But then after that, it was just kind of like, you know, like, oh, yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince Vaughn. Yeah, George Costanza. Yep. Let's bring back Jeff Goldblum. Why not? And he has a black child for some reason. I have no idea where that fucking came out. Yeah, literally, he has, like, a child, I think of divorce. And it's, like, a black chick. And there was this whole scene where Vince Vaughn and George kind of look at each other. And it's like, hey, yo, you see any relation? And it's like...
Well, my child is black. Change your apartment, change the world.
Dinosaur.
I never understood Jeff Goldblum. I mean, I don't think he's a bad actor, but he's weird.
He's interesting. He's definitely
interesting to say the least.
So
you know what else is interesting?
Yeah.
These plugs.
Oh, well, real quick.
No,
not yet. Just one
again?
sec. No, you will. Okay. You'll get your time under the sun.
Say what you need to say.
Like, all I gotta say is I'm gonna watch this movie. I will watch it twice, as I said. One, to critique the shit out of it, and probably also like just to turn my brain off, because it's always cool to see dinosaurs just going nuts on screen, eating people, jumping on them, and like just biting their fucking arm off and shit. Like, and I definitely will have to agree with David. Jurassic Park like has a lot of cool concepts, and I think even they've tried to do new things, but the plot still and the end themes are all the same. Like, just, dude, don't fucking play God. Like, just don't. Like, really. I hope we have a scientist or something watching this fucking thing. Like, out of the 20 of you who watch this fucking podcast, like, I hope to God there's one of you who, like, aspires to be a geneticist or something and watches, and has watched Jurassic Park and go, yeah, ain't gonna do that ever.
And then you and I can just say we prevented the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Be like, what inspired you to not go through with making these dinosaurs?
This really shitty podcast from 10 years ago. But that's my thoughts on that. I will be watching this movie. Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt. Yeah, he's got a busy schedule. He's got this and Mario.
And Garfield.
Oh, Lord. Give those plugs, baby.
Here we go. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify. We're on Apple Podcast. We are on Google Podcast, Radio Breaker, Anchor, of course, all these different podcasts. I believe we're on 7 different platforms, not including YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Also, YouTube here at youtube.com/Nintoonist. If you guys really want our podcast to grow, go ahead and give us a follow on all of our platforms, or whatever platform that it is that you listen to. Subscribe to the show. Leave a like on the video. Comment down below what your favorite Jurassic Park movie is.
Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
Comment your favorite dinosaur down below with a thesis. We want a detailed explanation as to why.
We want a fucking like grad school dissertation why you think the Tyrannosaurus Rex is the most beta ass dinosaur in the fucking world. Who the fuck wants to mate with something that has arms the size of a fucking rigatoni noodle?
I want fucking MLA citations at the back of that.
MLA citations!
In proper MLA format, 12-inch Times New Roman font. If it is anything outside of these, you will be receiving a fat F, my friend, in the chat for you and your paper. Make sure you write that shit down good in the comments.
Tell us why the Stegosaurus is your favorite dinosaur.
Facts. And if you guys really like
the Stegosaurus is the best dinosaur.
Whatever the Asian guy said. If you want the podcast to grow, part of that, the power is in your hands, guys. Leave a like on the video, comment down below.
Please.
Share, seriously, literally share the podcast around. Retweet it on your Twitter, post it on your Facebook, and your Instagram, whatever. Because we can't only do it on our own. You know what I mean? So if you guys want to see it, help us out. It'd be great. If it's your favorite podcast, let us know. Even little words of encouragement are just nice. Film's so nice, you gotta watch it twice.
podcast is a little crazy. All it takes is a little push. And at the same time, like, please, guys, I would kind of really want to bring back questions. So if y'all got any questions y'all want to leave us, either on the gram or on the Twitter or on our comments, please, drop some. And I would like to answer them because it's been a long time since we've had questions on here.
I'll ask on my main Twitter too. You know, like I'll ask on there because that's got a much broader audience. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this week's show.
Talking about dinosaurs and shit.
Dinosaurs, Nintendo, and
David,
whatever the first fucking topic that we talked about was. We talked about it was Beauty and the Beast before. First one Human Centipede. That's what we talked about. A lot of pretty broad range of movies that we talked about on this week's show.
David, please have it be the Beauty and the Beast. Like, remember the famous picture of like Belle and Beast like dancing?
Yeah.
So, but have a Velociraptor in place of Belle's head. And it's just dancing with the Beast. No, I'm being serious, David. That better be the thumbnail, or I will actually leave this fucking podcast. And then have like the little Human Centipede in the way background.
I'm not doing that second part. But, sure, sounds good. I will make that the thumbnail.
I will remind you, David.
Okay. We're done here. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you in your dreams. We love you.
Fucking hate you. Bye.
Lights off, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.